Why wasn't one black person shot or killed during the George Floyd riots? Why wasn't anyone reprimanded for tearing up, destroying, vandalizing, burning property all over the country, but specifically in the wealthiest retail districts in the country? Madison Avenue in New York, Michigan Avenue and the Mag Mile in Chicago, and Beverly Hills in California. Why was that allowed to go on? Who funded all of that? Because it costs money to get out there and do that. Who backed that initially? These are the questions you have to ask. And how did that benefit black people? What was the benefit, and how did Black Lives Matter result in any benefit to black people? What was the payoff? How are things better? Are there laws put in place? Is there police reform put in place? Give me something tangible that was the direct result of all of the rioting and looting and vandalizing that went on during the George Floyd riots that helped in the Black Lives Matter ideology. Let's get outside the movement, because the movement is people, and if monies were misappropriated, okay. Let's get to the real foundation of what that was supposed to be about. Because I don't really care about the organization and if 60 million was stolen, and okay, that happens in damn near every foundation, every charity. If you look at the National Cancer Institute, 95% of the money does not get to patients. So that goes on all around the world with all charities, with all people that you give money to. Most of them are spending the money at the top. And it's going to salaries, it's going to pay for different things that they choose to do with that money. The homeless crisis is bringing in billions of dollars for different cities, and 95% of the money stays at the top. The people that collect the money from the federal government, from the state government, from all these various places where they say we're going to remedy this homeless situation, you don't see a change. You don't see anyone benefiting, except people are getting higher salaries, more bonuses, driving nicer cars, buying bigger houses. So that's standard operating procedure. I always tell people, don't give money to organizations, give it directly to someone. If you want to help, find someone who has a young student in school and help pay their tuition, buy them books, be a mentor. There's a lot you can do at the grassroots level, if it's no more than buy someone school supplies, or just spending time with a young child that doesn't have a father in the home, or their mother's working, and you take them to the library, you buy them books, you show them how to check books out at the library, you educate them, you help them navigate this game called life. There's a lot you can do where you don't have to spend money, where each person can do something to help a young black boy or a young black girl, so we can see some movement in the ideology that Black lives do matter. So what is everybody doing as a result of T-shirt gate? What has Jason Lee done besides gossip about people? What has Diddy done other than throw parties and sell liquor? I mean, and I'm asking this genuinely because I love Diddy. I listen to him. I think he's a motivator and get the bag, but I don't see where he's benefiting like Black Lives Matter. He says his companies are black owned, but he's the owner. And I don't see that money trickling down into the black community. So it's best to just stay silent. Go on and get your bag. I'm not hating on you getting your bag, but don't put your fists in the air like you Stokely Carmichael and you doing so much for black people, because I don't see it. The same with Russell. I don't see it. Love Russell. Love a lot of what he has done. But there's critique there. If we're going to critique Kanye, then everybody can be critiqued. Because pushing music into the black culture that speaks of hatred and anger and rage, all that did was amplify that in the black community. How much rap music supports black women? How much rap music puts black women in a positive light? I don't see it. I don't hear it. All I hear is disrespect of black women, degrading black women, tearing down of the fabric of relationships between men and women, and then to go on the red carpet or be seen in relationships with non-black women is the ultimate promotion of white supremacy, because it's saying I'm not successful until I can get a white bitch on my arms, or until I can get this Asian bitch or this Hispanic bitch. And I'm saying bitch because that's how they refer to females in the rap game, in hip-hop. So if you're talking about white supremacy, and I'm saying this in love, there's nothing that promotes white supremacy greater than a black woman is not good enough to share my success and wealth with. When I get on, I'm going to go get me a white bitch. And then you parade that to black women to tell them they're not good enough, and to send the nonverbal message to black men that this is the symbol of success. If you want to be successful, you've got to get you a white, Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic female, not a black woman. And that's why black women have such a problem with black men who date outside the race, who marry outside the race, who share their wealth with non-black females, because you're sending the nonverbal message, especially when we see that as the pattern in your life. And we see that with so many black celebrities. That's when it is a promotion of white supremacy, because you can't tell me you can't find a black woman to fall in love with. You can't tell me you can't find a black woman who deserves to share your life with you, and who deserves to be on the red carpet with you, and deserves to be in magazines with you, and you only want to share that with a non-black female. And I don't have, I got no dog in the fight, so it doesn't bother me. But when we're talking about the promotion of white supremacy, nothing promotes it more than the Willie Lynch syndrome, pitting each other against each other. And when a black man is against black women and he only dates outside of his race, that is the Willie Lynch syndrome, and it is absolutely promoting white supremacy. When you promote music that degrades the community, degrades relationships, degrades black women, and degrades the foundation of unity and marriage and family and all those values that unite black people, nothing speaks to white supremacy greater than that. So before we talk about Kanye, let's look at our own behavior. Russell Simmons, Diddy, Jason Lee, and everybody else that has a problem with a t-shirt at Paris Fashion Week. We would not even know about the t-shirt had everybody not talked about it. And the time and energy it took for you to talk about it, you could have been reaching back to help behave Black Lives Matter, so that the t-shirt was irrelevant. But if you're not behaving it on a daily basis, then yes, the t-shirt offends you. Yes, you're bothered by the documentary that Candace Owens did. It doesn't bother me. The t-shirt did not bother me. And Candace Owens' documentary doesn't bother me, because I walk my talk. I behave that Black Lives Matter because I move in that every single day. I support when black men are under attack, and we need, as women, need to stand up and defend them. How many people defended Bill Cosby? How many people stood by R. Kelly? How many people stood by Michael Jackson? Our voices were silent as these icons, these legends, these titans were destroyed in the media. Where were the black voices? If you're allowed to tear down someone who has positively impacted the black community generationally, the Cosby Show, A Different World, and the work that Bill Cosby did and continues to do, even something as simple as him wearing t-shirts and sweatshirts that promoted black educational institutions, Morehouse, Howard, all of the different ways and many different techniques that Bill Cosby used to promote black, having black art on the walls of his home in his sitcom, making sure that it was mostly black actors and black filmmakers that did that. Nobody has done more for black culture than Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. And I didn't see Black Lives Mattering to black people and standing in unison to protect these icons and these legends. So if Black Lives Matter, they have to matter across the board. You don't see Jewish people going against other Jewish people. You don't see Asians going against other Asians. They stand in solidarity. We don't do that. So until we stand with a Bill Cosby, when we stand with a Michael Jackson, we stand with R. Kelly, the same way we stood with OJ. No different. Nobody, no black person turned on OJ. So no black person turned on Mike Tyson. No black person turned on Muhammad Ali. We stood in solidarity with those men when they were under attack. And yet we didn't stand with Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and others. That's what we have to look at as a community of people. And I'm saying all of this in love. Black Lives Matter is an ideology, but it is a behavior that we must behave on a daily basis. And we do it with our voices, we do it with our actions. We do it when we don't criticize someone for wearing a t-shirt that we don't agree with. You don't have to agree with the statement. You don't have to agree with what Candace Owens does, but she has a right to her opinion. She has a right to embrace whatever she embraces. She has a right to marry whoever she marries and do the work that she does. She has that right. I have the right to agree with it or disagree with it. And if I don't agree with it, all I have to do is tune it out. Period. Kanye has the right to have on a shirt at his fashion week. Whatever his reasons, those are his reasons. So if I like the statement, I can embrace it. If I don't like it, I need to just remain silent about it. That's his way of expressing whatever. That wasn't promoting white supremacy. No, it just wasn't. Dating white women consistently throughout your life and putting that in the public domain promotes white supremacy more than a t-shirt does. Having rap music degrade black women and put black women down promotes white supremacy more than a t-shirt does. So the t-shirt did nothing. It was the amplification of the t-shirt and everyone's interpretation of it that did the damage. And those that are doing that and talking about it are actually in the work that they do and in the work that they've done historically throughout their lives has done more to promote white supremacy and Willie Lynch syndrome than anything that Kanye has done. So everybody needs to look at their own behavior, look at what they've done to contribute to the dismantling of the black culture, because that is what happened. In the 60s and the 70s, there was unity. With Motown, there was unity. Motown brought people together. Motown bridged the gap. Motown showed black people in their glory. It spoke of love. It spoke of relationship. It spoke of family. Even though people were damaged, it reached for the ideology of black unity. Can we say the same about rap and hip hop? No, we cannot. Because more of that music dismantles the black culture than empowers it. It speaks of get money, but get money at what cost? What I've seen is drugs and guns and sexual debauchery and disrespect of black women and the dismantling of relationships. It is the poster child for Willie Lynch syndrome. So until we address those issues, and I'm not speaking of all rap. Obviously, I love some of it. Well, not love, like. I like some of it, and obviously I like some of the artists. But it's not so much the music that I like as it is their business grind and their business hustle that I've gravitated towards. So let's look in our own closet. Let's look at what we're doing on a daily basis to help each one reach one and teach one. Are we behaving that? Are we living that? And what are we doing in our own lives that promotes white supremacy? And maybe we didn't think of it like that, but when the outside world looks at it, that's how it looks. It looks like black women are not good enough when all you promote that you date is non-black women. It looks like women are bitches and whores and only used for sexual gratification when that's all we see in videos. And that's what is being pumped into the minds and the hearts of children that watch that stuff and that see that stuff. Let's check that shit first before we ever even attempt to talk about a t-shirt at Paris Fashion Week that no one would have known about had everybody not done a fucking video on it.